Mm-hmm.
So, as you know, I am Marjorie Schumann.
And I'm Serge Pringle.
And we are speaking together, having had several prior conversations, but bringing to this particular conversation a desire to communicate deeply about the topic of inquiry, which is something we're both interested in.
Yeah, yeah. And so also that we have the intention to talk about it in a way that captures a certain form of inquiry, a certain form of mindful communication that is obviously not chit-chat, not a lecture, but some kind of a shared process of discovery.
Yes.
And so in addition to maybe defining what we mean by inquiry in this conversation, hopefully we will also be demonstrating by the way we talk what we mean by it.
Yes, and the spirit of it that is both the music and the words, as I like to say. So it's the ambiance of our presence and our interaction, as well as what we speak about.
Yeah. And so when I hear you speak about presence, there is something like almost a click that comes from me, an invitation inside to kind of slow down a little bit and to be more in my own presence and notice your presence and notice the ambiance and what is, happening in the space between us.
Mm-hmm. And the word that comes to my mind about that is that it has something to do with the felt sense of the connection with an intention to deepen the level of communication or to allow the level of communication to deepen.
Yeah. So there's that intention, the sense of the possibility of communication to be deeper, and a general intention to allow it.
Yes. The other thing about inquiry to me has to do with the idea of punctuation as a grammatical thing, a question mark. We're asking questions. We're not only asking questions of each other, but we're asking questions in the spirit of being really curious to discover what answers might unfold or emerge. And that's so different from often conversation is about the opportunity to say something that we've already thought or said, but this kind of dialogue, this kind of inquiring dialogue has more the intention to discover what emerges or what wants to be said. So I think of it as what is emerging from within to be said, but not known in advance of that moment.
Yeah. So I'm drawn to almost paraphrasing you and simply to dwell on something that feels so right about this, that inquiry is question, is not known, as opposed to an opportunity for the conversation to be just force feeding what I know.
Yes, beautiful.
That the pleasure in it is what I don't know, either whether it's coming from you or whether it's coming from me.
Yes, it's actually coming from both of us.
Yeah. And so there's a beauty in this that we don't know where it's going.
Yes. And that to me actually is the nectar of inquiry as a process, which is I've spent so much of my life learning and trying to know and trying to be the knower. Inquiry to me opens an avenue of allowing, not knowing more.
Yeah. And it's a bit of a dance. It's an allowing of not knowing, but there is also in selecting the topic a sense of knowing something. There is a sense of wanting to talk about that very specific topic about inquiry, a sense that we're drawn to it because there's some things we know and like about it. And at the same time, there is a part of, well, if I was just saying something that I already know, it wouldn't be as satisfying.
Right. Yeah. To say what we already know is too much like talking to ourselves. And the
Yeah.
point of this form of inquiry is relational.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
even if I had the same inquiry or you did with 10 other partners, the conversation that you and I will have, I'm certain, is a unique conversation, not only unique to both of us, but unique to this moment.
Yeah. Yeah. So an inquiry is always an inquiry into the moment.
Yes, at the tip of the moment.
Yeah. It's at the tip of the moment is who we are, not just who we are in general, who we are at this moment, what the circumstances are, what comes up. And it might or might not have qualities beyond that, but certainly it has the quality of the moment. So being in an inquiry mode is appreciating the moment.
Yes.
And so what comes up for me is the form of inquiry. Of course, it's wanting to know something, wanting to sharpen that understanding of something, but is also a vehicle to find a sense of mindful presence.
Yes.
It's almost like a practice
It is a
that
practice.
engaging in it is not just for the result itself, but is for the state it kind of pulls you into.
Yes. Beautiful. Is very much a relational mindfulness practice, or I think we spoke about this once before, a co-mindfulness practice.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. And so the image that comes to mind is when you have, for instance, people in tennis who are doing volleys as opposed to a game.
Mm-hmm.
And then the goal is to send the ball so that the other person can catch it, not to trick them. And there is kind of a nice rhythm that gets established as the ball is going back and forth and back and forth. And the rhythm itself creates a certain peacefulness or a certain connection.
Yes. There's so often a pressure in ordinary conversation to quickly hit the ball back to the other side without taking advantage of the opportunity to receive the ball and feel the energy of the volley.
Mm, yeah, yeah, yeah. So that built-in moment of taking in.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's where I feel the inquiry is very related to the notion of active pause, is taking in, staying with it, allowing for something to form,
Yes.
not just immediately reacting.
Yes. Active pause, exactly. And also trusting whatever it is that unfolds or that it will unfold
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
in the way that we most need.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So trusting that what unfolds, um, Yeah. Yeah. So I want to stay with that notion of trust that there is,
Yes,
because it's trusting the unknown.
exactly.
And that's something that we tend to have difficulty with. We want to have something known and staying with the unknown. So, what is it that helps us find the peace, the calm, the patience to stay with the unknown?
Well, that makes me think of your LinkedIn group. Uh, I forgot now the name of it, the somatic implicit. Is that
Yeah,
right?
relational implicit.
Yeah. But I guess the word somatic is the one that I wanted to
Yeah, yeah,
add
yeah, yeah.
into the conversation. Part of what enables the back and forth from a space of I don't know is having a place to rest in the body in between. So for me, I will often consciously just put my attention on the experience of my heart center and on the sense of breathing with the other person in and out of my heart as a way of embodying an intention to be connected with,
Mm-hmm,
give
mm-hmm.
them space to say what they need to say.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So we're talking about is the inquiry is an embodied inquiry.
Yeah.
It's not just something that is an intellectual process, but it is very much a whole organism thing. And the staying with it involves in circulating it. I'm almost cutting myself as I'm talking because I suddenly had the image of wine tasting.
Wine
And
tasting. Mhm.
you just take a little bit and you put it and you let it swirl in your mouth
Uh-huh.
in order to get the feeling. So there's kind of a very active engagement in the
Mhm.
wine tasting. It's not just gulping it,
Yes.
but just slowing it down and savoring it.
Yeah. I like the metaphor of tasting, sensing the flavor of one
Mm-hmm.
another.
Yeah, yeah. That's the opposite of rushing with the obvious meaning. So I would say maybe the inquiry, the active pause, is to say, okay, so, I think I know, and the answer comes quickly. And it might be just about knowledge, but it might be also reactivity. And what the inquiry or the active pause is about is saying, hey, 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 slow down, hold your horses, just, yeah, it may be that, but it may also be something else. So let's stay. Let's not assume Let's just kind of go a little bit. If I didn't know, what else could it be if I just sense into it? If
Yes.
I just explore it and push back the urge to affix a meaning to it.
Yes. Well said.
Hmm.
And to receive it, to be
Yeah.
in a space of receptiveness. When you were saying earlier about something that alluded to the fact that there's you and there's me, there's also whatever it is, bigger than you and me, uh, that this conversation is resting in, the crucible in which the conversation rests,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
which maybe has something to do with what we had in mind in initiating this conversation, but maybe turns out to be something else entirely.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So there's something bigger in a sense. At the object of the inquiry may be very targeted,
Mm-hmm.
but it always happens in the shadow
Nice.
of something bigger,
Yeah.
like the image of the iceberg. We see the tip, And there is so much more that we're not
Yeah,
necessarily conscious of.
right.
You know, I'm feeling like it might be a good place to stop this one, but just checking, what is it for you? Is there something else that needs to be said about this today?
Well, my first reaction is that I have the same feeling as you, but I want to just sit with that a minute and see if anything else emerges that I'm wanting to add. I guess just the idea that I started to hint at in speaking of the grammar of the mind, that there is something in asking a question that brings forth an answer.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're looking for a word you can't quite remember and you let it go, sometime in the next period of time, often the word will come into your mind, like something has been working on answering the question in the background. And it's that background knowing that I want to invite into the space of inquiry.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Inviting that background knowing.
Mm-hmm.
This is part of the Active Pause podcast. To see more and subscribe to the newsletter, go to activepause.com.